It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chilliefalls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. On this, the 9th day of January, 2026. Got about a third of the month out of the way. We're inside a month now until a bunch of us are going to be on a boat, which I'll talk about that here in a second. But at any rate, just want to welcome everybody to today's show. It's coming to you from my studio in Forest, Virginia, brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scootaround, and by chilliescruises. Not a ton of news today, but I got a few stories. The lead story this morning, these are the headlines, of course. The lead story today, Holland, America sees surge in demand for 2026 European cruises. Also today, Carnival cruise warns parents of $500 fine for teens breaking 1 a.m. curfew. Also this morning, ice bursts into cabin at 6:30 a.m. I'll touch on that in just a second. Exhibition ship breaks free in a windstorm. A guest arrested for child porn. Viking named official cruise line of the PGA Tour. And a warning from the MS Splendida. Today is National Apricot Day. As I've gotten older, folks, I have I'm eating a lot more fruit than I've ever eaten in my life and enjoying it. Apricots are not my favorite. I mean, I'll eat them. I'll eat any kind of fruit anymore. But, I'd rather have almost anything other than apricots. But that's neither here nor there. This day in history, in 1493, Christopher Columbus mistakes manatees for mermaids, probably caused by some of that fine Jamaica pot he was smoking. I made that up, folks. That's not truthful. But it does that and combined with one of the stories this morning about the ICE agent brings me up to a situation. I see that amigo John is in the chat room today. John, of course, will be on the cruise with us on what's the name of that boat? Grandiosa. That we're sailing on here on February the 7th and the 14th. John has a potential problem that he and I discussed last night. It seems that there is another John Reitmeyer who lives in Montana. I think it's Montana, Idaho, one of those states over there that we should give back to Canada. But anyway, this fella seems to get in trouble with the law a lot, which could open John up to the potential of ICE agents coming on the boat looking for John Reitmeyer and taking our John. So to combat that, John and I have decided to order all of our drinks with no ice for the cruise. And maybe put a sign on the door, no ice in cabins. Just saying. That's amigo John. You know how serious we are about that. Okay, if you're a podcast person, you can always access the come on, tongue. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for travel and cruise industry news, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. All right, so acting a little silly this morning. That's all right. I had a horrible night, a zero sleep night. I have gotten where I tend to have more of those than I have nights that I at least sleep well. So haven't been to sleep at all. So I'm probably, as soon as the show's over with, rather than, pack more stuff, I may just have to take a nap. And then I'll wake up and pack some stuff. So anyway, it was a rather rough night, and no real reason. I feel fine. I feel fine. I'm actually getting to the point of being able to walk a lot more comfortably back in the house, which, I'd gone away from that totally from the last couple falls. Seem to be doing a lot better with my walking now. And I'm doing a lot of walking in the house without the walker, which is just a lot easier on me. So, all right. So let's get on with the news for today's show. But before we do that, let's take a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. And while we're doing that, let's think about Hot Air Tom, who got kidney stones busted up today, or exploded, or imploded, or I don't know, whatever you do with kidney stones. That was this morning for Hot Air Tom. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to start off today. Nestor, tell us what you found out about Holland America Europe sailings.
Holland America Line is riding a strong wave of demand for its 2026 European cruise season, with bookings already running more than 1/3 higher than this time last year. The growth signals continued enthusiasm among travelers for immersive European itineraries, particularly in Northern Europe, where demand has surged by nearly 50% year over year. The cruise line says the sharp rise is being fueled by travelers seeking out Northern Europe's dramatic landscapes, fjords, and culturally rich cities that are easy to explore during extended port calls. Convenient departures from Rotterdam in the Netherlands and Dover in England are also proving attractive, offering guests simplified access to some of Europe's most iconic and scenic regions. Given the strong pace of bookings we're seeing in our Start Your Journey wave promotion underway, I'd recommend anyone considering a summer European cruise book soon, said Dan Ruff, Vice President of Revenue Management for Holland America Line. With our Dutch roots and unmatched expertise in the region, guests know they're traveling with the European cruise experts when they choose Holland America. These voyages will sell out, and at the fast pace we are seeing this year, now is a good time for guests to secure their ideal cruise. A closer look at the 2026 Europe season. Holland America Line's 2026 Europe program builds on the brand's long-standing heritage in the region, with itineraries designed to deliver deeper, more meaningful travel experiences. One of the hallmarks of the season is an emphasis on longer stays ashore. Many itineraries feature extended port days and overnight calls, allowing guests to explore destinations well beyond the typical sightseeing window. Evening dining on land, cultural performances, and opportunities to experience local nightlife are all built into select sailings across the Mediterranean and Northern Europe. The 2026 itineraries also offer a wide geographic reach. Guests will visit more than 175 UNESCO World Heritage Sites across 35 countries, spanning the Mediterranean, British Isles, Northern Europe, and the Canary Islands. Alongside marquee destinations such as Barcelona, Naples, and Dubrovnik, the season includes stops at lesser visited ports like Portofino, Saint-Tropez, and Valletta, giving travelers a blend of classic highlights and hidden gems. On board, the European experience continues through regionally inspired cuisine. Menus reflect the flavors of the destinations visited, featuring Mediterranean specialties, Northern European comfort dishes, and British Isles classics. Fresh seafood, regional wines, and destination-themed offerings are crafted by Holland America Line's culinary ambassadors to complement each itinerary. World Cup coverage at sea. Travelers sailing Europe in summer 2026 won't have to choose between cruising and soccer. Holland America Line confirmed it will broadcast every match of the FIFA World Cup 26 trademark across its fleet. From June 11 through July 19, all 104 matches will be available in staterooms via Sport 24 special event channels, with select games also shown on the Lido big screen or in world stage theaters. Select 2026 European cruises now available. For a limited time, guests booking with the Have It All package can secure select European itineraries with a $25 deposit and a free balcony upgrade. Available sailings include 14-day Wild British Isles, Glasgow overnight. Departs May 30, 2026, on New Statendam, starting at $215 per person per day. 14-day Greece, Italy and French Riviera Collector's Voyage. Departs August 22, 2026, on Amsterdam, starting at $170 per person per day. 7-day Western Mediterranean with History Channel. Departs August 29, 2026, on Amsterdam, starting at $181 per person per day. 14-day Arctic crossing in North Cape with History Channel. Departs August 30, 2026, on Rotterdam, starting at $172 per person per day. 13-day Fjords of Norway with History Channel. Departs September 19, 2026, on New Statendam, starting at $298 per person per day. 7-day Norwegian Fjords with Nordfjord. Departs October 31, 2026, on New Statendam, starting at $158 per person per day. With demand accelerating in Northern Europe emerging as a standout favorite, Holland America Line's 2026 Europe season is shaping up to be one of its most popular yet, prompting the cruise line to urge travelers to book early to secure preferred sailings and accommodations. Book any Holland America cruise. Contact Chillie at 434-258-9264. Parents who struggle to keep their kids in their cabins after 1 a.m. may want to pay close attention to cruise curfew rules, because breaking them can get expensive. A Carnival Cruise Line guest recently shared a warning letter she received onboard Carnival Elation after her 14-year-old was found violating the cruise line's mandatory curfew for minors. The parent, Phyllis Teacher, posted the letter on Facebook, joking that it might be a while before they cruise with their kids again after nearly facing a $500 fine. The post quickly gained traction, drawing more than 500 comments from fellow cruisers. The letter, signed by the ship's staff captain, stated that the teen had violated Carnival's curfew policy, which requires guests 17 and under to be out of public areas by 1 a.m. unless accompanied by an adult at least 21 years old. It warned that another violation during the cruise could result in a fine of up to $500. While the letter served as a warning, Carnival's policy is stricter for repeat offenses. A third violation can result in the entire travel party being disembarked and placed on the cruise line's no-sail list. Teacher later clarified that her child was not alone and was with older cousins, ages 19 and up. However, Carnival's policy clearly states that supervising adults must be at least 21. Reactions online were mixed, but many commenters supported Carnival's enforcement of the rule, noting that late-night curfews help maintain order on board. While Carnival positions itself as a family-friendly cruise line, the incident serves as a reminder that parents are ultimately responsible for ensuring their children follow ship policies, especially after midnight. One recent guest of Carnival Cruise Line ended a birthday cruise with a present nobody wants, getting wrongfully detained by agents from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Jose Martinez, who is a U.S. Coast Guard veteran and most definitely a U.S. citizen, was on board with his wife, Tamara Verja, and several others to celebrate both his birthday and the birthday of a close friend. The Carnival guest was detained by ICE agents in Miami due to a misunderstanding. The guest was flagged because he shared the same name as someone else who had multiple warrants. He was released after spending about 90 minutes in a holding cell in Port Miami. Martinez's wife eventually got her phone back, but the attack video was deleted. A scary incident occurred in Argentina's port of Ushuaia on Tuesday. According to local outlet El Diario del Fin del Mundo, two expedition ships collided while the port was battered by strong winds. World Voyager broke free from its moorings and hit Viking Octantis. Thankfully, no injuries were reported and the damage was minor. Few regions in America blend nature, flavor, and tradition as beautifully as the Pacific Northwest. When you cruise the Columbia and Snake Rivers, you're traveling through the heart of a landscape where two of life's great pleasures, fresh salmon and fine wine, come together in perfect harmony. It's a region where the rivers themselves give life to both, and where every meal can feel like a connection to the land and water around you. The story of the Pacific salmon is one of nature's most extraordinary journeys. Born in cool, clear freshwater streams of the northwest interior, tiny salmon fry spend their early months in protected pools before drifting downstream toward the Pacific Ocean. There, they grow to maturity in the cold, rich waters of the North Pacific, sometimes traveling thousands of miles. After several years, an instinct older than the mountains calls them home. Against strong currents and towering waterfalls, they fight their way back up the Columbia and its tributary rivers to the very stream where they were born. It's a powerful symbol of perseverance and renewal that has long inspired the people of the Northwest. Indigenous peoples along the Columbia River have honored the salmon for millennia, viewing the species as a sacred gift. Early settlers came to depend on the annual salmon runs, which once filled the river so thickly that observers claimed you could walk across on their backs. Today, salmon remains central to the region's identity. Baked, grilled, smoked, or cedar planked, they are the undisputed star of Northwest cuisine. Just as the rivers define the life of the salmon, they also shape the vineyards that rise above their banks. The Columbia River Gorge and Walla Walla Valley enjoy a perfect blend of conditions, sunny days, cool nights, and well-drained soils, that make them among the most celebrated wine regions in the U.S. More than 2,000 wineries now flourish across Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, producing world-class Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Riesling, and bold Cabernet Sauvignon that rival those of California or Europe. Many vineyards welcome visitors for tastings, often pairing their wines with wild-caught salmon, artisan cheeses, and farm-fresh produce from the Yakima and Willamette valleys. It's a culinary culture rooted in the land, the seasons, and a love of authenticity. For travelers exploring these rivers, each meal is a reflection of the place. Imagine dining as the sun sets behind Mount Hood, enjoying a perfectly grilled fillet of Columbia River salmon alongside a crisp Oregon Pinot Gris. It's not just dinner, it's the flavor of the Northwest itself, pure, vibrant, and deeply connected to its rivers. From salmon runs to vineyard rows, the Columbia and Snake Rivers offer a feast for every sense. For more info on Columbia and Snake River cruises, call Chillie at 434-258-9264. A 22-year-old man from Huntsville, Alabama, was arrested for possession and transportation of child pornography at Port Everglades on Saturday, after he got off the Majestic Princess. Federal customs officers conducted a search of Samuel Wolf Peterson's cell phone and laptop, found about 20 videos of victims as young as toddlers being raped, sodomized and otherwise sexually abused. The court filing revealed that Peterson was read and waived his Miranda rights and readily admitted that he possessed child pornography. Announced today, the agreement names Viking as the official cruise line of the PGA Tour and the PGA Tour Champions. The partnership is set to run through 2030. Over the next several years, Viking will be featured across various digital platforms and media broadcasts during PGA Tour events. The goal is to introduce the cruise line's destination-focused sailings to a broader audience of golf lovers. And Viking knows that golf is already a favorite activity for many of its guests. People often use the phrase, "rock the boat," as a colloquialism about causing trouble, but current guests of MSC Splendida may be experiencing the literal meaning of this. The MSC cruise ship is currently in the middle of a 7-night Mediterranean sailing that embarked in Barcelona on January 3rd, and the final leg of the voyage has been a bit bumpy due to bad weather. The ship was rocked by big swells and strong winds reaching above 35 knots, about 40 miles per hour, while sailing from Palermo, Sicily, to La Goulette, Tunis, Tunisia. With a private veranda in every stateroom, floor-to-ceiling windows and the most al fresco dining at sea, our small, award-winning ocean vessels are designed to give you a front-row seat to extraordinary vistas. Whether you choose to seek out the northern lights in Scandinavia, gaze upon Asia's towering skylines, or wake up to the lush rainforests and white sand beaches of the Caribbean, breathtaking panoramas await your discovery. Reserve your preferred stateroom with a $25 deposit and enjoy free airfare on select departures along with your choice of bonus savings. For more information, email chillie@bookalaska.net.
All right, that's going to put an end to the news portion of today's show. Let's jump over in the chat room and see who is with us today. Like I mentioned, amigo John is here. Another cold, wintry day in Minnesota. Hot Air Tom is back from the rock blaster, whatever you want to call that thing. Sonny's with us. Good morning, Sonny, down in Mississippi. There's Gary Older and Dirt out in California. Hi, Gary. Joanne is with us. Good morning, Joanne. Says, happy Friday to all. Mike's with us from the other side of the pond. Says, good morning to all of us. Sonny says, good morning to you, Mike. Hope all is well on your side. Bob is with us. Good morning, all. Have a great weekend, says Bob. Katie's here, says good morning to me. Mike says hi to Sonny. In the middle of a cold spell, snowed in and cold. Well, you can have that. By the way, Nate sent me some information. I wonder if I can pull it up real quick here. Let me see if I can get at it in a hurry. But anyway, Nate sent me some information from Juneau. Let's see. Okay, so the all-time record in Juneau, Alaska for snow is 86.3 inches, and that was back in 1965. This year, we've had the second largest amount of snowfall in Juneau at 79.8 inches. And of course, there's still some winter left and likely to get more snow up there, and probably will easily break that record before it's over with. I just thought I'd point that one out. All right, so now let me figure out how to get back to the chat room. Katie says, teacher's work day. Taking a break from my paperwork. All right, Katie, we always appreciate you taking a break and joining us. There's Cruise Life. Says, afternoon, guys. Good afternoon to you as well. Sonny tells Mike to stay warm. It's too warm here and humid. Wow. Wish I could say that. Hopefully it'll be nice and warm when I get down there on a cruise in the next few weeks. Mike says, thanks. Sunny heating on 24 hours a day. I've been housebound since the 31st of December. Well, that always kind of sucks. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today and for this week. As always, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. That'll help the channel out. Take this as my invitation to join us if you haven't already done so. Just subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when I go live or when a new video is up. Got some changes coming ahead on this channel. which hopefully you'll like. So, going to be working some new things in and around what we do normally. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. Hopefully, one day soon, we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a wonderful Friday, a great weekend, and I'll see everybody back here on Monday if I don't see you before then.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.